to remember the outer circle and inner circle. Uh, I mean, when I say outer circle, high temperature and low temperature process, then you have to remember that you need different kind of catalyst, mustard acid or metal catalyst or a combination of them. Then you have to look for the role of deprotonation energy and solvation. Then you have to understand that heating doesn't make any fundamental changes. Of course, it improves, but doesn't make any fundamental changes. Then you understand that you need a catalyst which should be recyclable. And now this is, I think I'll go to the high temperature because we still have time. So let's talk about the high temperature process. I think being a faculty and a student associated with the NPTI, this is of more interest to you because in high temperature what we make is by syngas, or this syngas goes to power. It has heat, so it is used to generate power, or we make combustible gases which can be burned to make parts. Like you must have heard this biomass to power plants. So these all are high temperature processes. Usually people go for gasification, but I think gasification is something which is not gaining momentum as of now due to particulate matter emissions, and there are several other reasons. But the idea is to what you get to make electricity. What you do is that you convert biomass to CO plus H2, isn't it? Okay, and you utilize the heat of this in power plants. Okay, so this is one of the plants. This is a small unit. It's a 2 kg per hour unit. I mean 5 kg per hour unit. I have worked on this setup in Germany, but now we have installed this also at IIT Delhi, a 10 kg per hour unit. This is a 2 kg per hour unit. So how it works? So you take the biomass and you convert it into the pellets, and those pellets are charged here. Now from this is a reactor where you have 3 heating zones. The pellets, like you can see, getting going inside this. The pellet goes inside this, and all the volatile matters is vaporized. Okay, and the char is getting collected over here. Now this char actually also acts as a catalyst. Okay, and then in return it increases the hydrogen production. Now all the gases produced, vapors produced from here passes through the condenser. Here you condense the liquid product and you collect it. Then it passes through a cyclone separator, and in that cyclone separator what you do is the uncondensed gases passes through this, and the liquid again is getting collected here. Okay, now the uncondensed gases are again cooled down and scrubbed in some solution, usually in water or something, and then you have range of filters, filter 1, filter 2, filter 3. So this is activated carbon filter, candle filter, depending on, I mean, what kind of biomass we are using and what is the expected particulate matter size or oil droplets. And then you have metering skid, then it goes to the online gas analyzer and online calorimeter. Okay, so now I hope you guys have seen this video. So how this is working, and this is a typical process. I worked in Germany, and then we installed a similar kind of unit at here at IIT Delhi. Also at IIT Dhanbad also I have just purchased a 2 kg per hour unit. So at IIT Delhi we have a 10 kg per hour unit. At IIT Dhanbad I have 2 kg per hour unit now, which is about to be installed. And then we have improved that further to one more step and converted that into connected that with the fluidized wet reactor also. Okay. Now here, if you look at, there are 3 products. So I hope you looked in the video. There were 3 products: combustible gases, liquid condensate, and biochar. Now this biochar can be used in power plants. If I reduce the temperature, you will get more biochar that can be used as a solid fuel in power plants. But in power plant also you will gasify it to convert into syngas, right? CO plus H2. So we are already making it here. Okay. So in this, if you look at in detail, there are three things. One is, during first trial, what we did, we removed the char from here. So whatever vapors were being produced, they were passing directly to the condenser. We call that process as non-reforming, NR. And then rest are R, that is reforming. So we kept the biochar here. And I'll tell you why. Because we wanted to know that whether this biochar is helping in the process anyway or not, or it is just consuming the more and more energy. And we found that this biochar actually acts as a catalyst. So when I say biochar, you see this material is now this is the the biomass in the pellet form. Now this is getting converted to biochar because all the organic materials or volatile metal have been vaporized. Now we wanted to know, is there any biochar role? Because in original process, the biochar was taken out continuously. So what I thought that, let's say, what if we put the biochar here? We don't withdraw it. We will withdraw it once the process is complete. Okay. So we did, and what we observed when we were withdrawing the biochar, the total biochar content was 31%, and the condensate was 39%, and 24% was gaseous product. And we had some process losses which we couldn't measure. Okay. Now, we thought, as I told you, that what if I don't withdraw the biochar? So I left the biochar there, and in okay. So we also wanted to know our energy, where is our energy content. So maximum energy was in gases, followed by some in bio oil, and then in biochar. Okay, so maximum was in gas and biochar, and then liquid. The interesting part with this bio oil, I'll tell you. Usually, bio oil has 30%, 38% oxygen. Okay, in normal pyrolysis process. You must be wondering how my process is different and why I'm saying this. Because normal pyrolysis process has 38% oxygen. Okay, but I'll come to that. Here, I'll tell you one more thing. That when I
शुभम शुभम देख फिर आ गया वरना चलो हो जाएगा जो करना पड़ेगा यहाँ पे अच्छा अभी रिकॉर्ड जो हम बोले रिकॉर्ड है बोले
सैनिटेशन क्लीनिंग का भी देख रहे हैं
हाँ ये नहीं हाँ वो
नहीं करना
बाद में समझाएगी ना क्लास तुम निकल जाएगा निकल जाएगा ऐसे निकल कॉपी लेते हैं पहले हम डाल लें आपके पास मतलब ठीक है वाला
पीछे वाला तो उधर आपको
चलो अच्छा एक ही इसमें वैसे जो ना पढ़ लिया तो बात बाद में समझे क्लास में बदल निकाल लेते हैं तो खोना मतलब बेटा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पेपर है बड़ा दोबारा डालना पड़ेगा इसमें
cellulose, hemicellulose. Lignin is mostly aromatics. Cellulose, phenols. This is furfuryls, hemicellulose. This is phenol plus furans. Okay. Now, if you look at normal condition, we had furfuryl, ketones, and phenols. Phenols are actually aromatics, I would say. Phenols and aromatics would be in lignin.
चला गया रिलोड करें इसको क्यों रिलोड करें इसको
Isn't it? Then you put the reformer there, you again get this, and then furfuryls. Furfuryl quantity decrease, that means your hemicellulose also starts. So if I say at 773, cellulose converts, hemicellulose converts around 873.
एक काम करें क्या इसको वहाँ लगा लेंगे साइड में क्योंकि अगर ये चालू हो गया तो इसकी बॉडी चालू करेगा दिक्कत है ना इसका मतलब इसमें वो तो खत्म हुआ नहीं है डाटा तो है इसमें अच्छा
तो नेट का पूरा
नहीं
चल रहा है सूप में कहीं नहीं ये लाइन हुआ तो
Phenols are decreasing. If you look here, why our oxygen content was higher, lower? Because oxygen comes from phenol, furfuryls, furans. Okay, what is happening here? Your aromatic is increasing. That means this is oxygen free. This is, I can say, oxygen free. Phenols are decreasing. That means your O2 is decreasing, or I can say oxygen is decreasing. And that is the reason because of which actually your what do you even say, this bio oil had very less oxygen. It's not because of the cellulose or hemicellulose, but because the lignin started converting into undergoing into hydrodeoxygenation reaction to yield aromatics. Okay, so this is something you have to understand that how it goes. Now, coming back to the question that why this chart when we started reforming. So between non-reforming and reforming, why this was difference? Why there is a difference? So we said that there is some other reaction, hydrodeoxygenation, hydrocracking, or something is like going on. But as I told you that all those reaction needs catalyst. So from where the catalyst was coming, for that we analyzed the chart. And what we found that there is iron, and then there is calcium, and then there are alkali metals which are known for the promoting these kind of reforming reactions are present in the chart. But even if they are present, for a reaction to happen, they need to be on surface. And why there was only less hydrodeoxygenation here? Very minor difference, and all of a sudden it changed to very huge difference. That means there was something else that was happening with the letters chart. So we took this. This is without reforming. You can see the same images. This is 773, 873, and 973. We zoomed to 973, and what we observed, there were some white spots or white deposits on the surface. And these white deposits, actually metals, are usually appears white when you zoom them on the surface in a SEM. Okay. So we said because at 973, all these metals comes on the surface of the char, and that because of that the hydrodeoxygenation reaction increases, and then we get more and more aromatics compared to the previous reactions. Okay. Now, based on that, we also wanted to know that if there is a metal on the surface of the char, then can we increase the hydrogen production? Because of course hydrogen is the cleanest fuel. Okay. So what we did is we tried to change the moisture content. And what we observed that if you change the moisture content from 0% to 8% and 16%, the hydrogen production is increasing, CO2 is increasing. That means my CO plus H2O are reacting to yield CO2 plus H2. Isn't it? That's why CO2 is increasing, H2 is increasing. But the question here is how much water we can put. That's why you must have heard this steam reforming. Why we do steam reforming? Just to provide this H2O becomes actually source of hydrogen. Okay. But the question here was how much moisture I can put. So I can tell you, if you are making pellets, maximum moisture constant can be 16%. If you go to 20%, pellets will. Okay. But the interesting thing here, you can see the beauty of science, that without using any catalyst, you are using this char itself as a catalyst and a wide range of reactions, cracking, hydrodeoxygenation, reforming, even WGS, several reactions are taking place. So now you understand the waste material that you are thinking that you will just put in pyrolyzer and convert isn't that easy. It has some beautiful science in it, and you have to understand that to develop a very good and efficient process. Okay. Now, going with that, we thought that can we convert? Okay, this is one joint project that I'm doing with IIT Delhi. So it's a like 10 crore rupees project with more than 50 professors. So this is from the solid waste management team. This is led by PI is Professor Pant, and I am the co-PI. Okay. So what we are doing is that we are taking plastic waste, agro residue, leftover sludge from the biogas, e-waste. This all you put in one reactor. That reactor I showed. Okay. And what you will get? Three products: gas, liquid, solid. Okay. Now it depends that what is the feed, and based on that you can say. So you take the plastic, you will get combustible gas, liquid fuel, and some char. If you take forest or agro, you put this, pyrolyze it, but not pyrolyze, but I would say you send it to thermocatalytic reforming, and then you will get combustible gas, liquid fuel, and char. These combustible gases can be used for power generation. Char can also be used for power generation. You take a leftover slice, or you take the e-waste. E-waste, you can convert this into this reactor. You get combustible gas, liquid fuel, metal char mixture. You separate the metal char. I hope that I have already told you. And then you have char. You can use this to make aerogel, fuel capture, oil spillage, gas purification, etc. So you can see here that there is nothing, not single urban or rural solid waste that cannot be covered in this reactor. In fact, besides that, I'll tell you one more thing, that this reactor, you can also put this, you know, nowadays we are using gloves, we are using masks, we are using PPE kits, etc., etc. This will you can put into this one reactor and to get. Now the question is how you are going to do that. Can we, when you use one reactor, it doesn't mean that one operating condition. Okay. Reactor could be same, but because I told you, forest or agro residue, it has green, cellulose, what different temperature ranges. Plastic, and depending on plastic, you can convert Celsius, or you can also 100 degrees Celsius. Depends at what kind of plastic you are taking. So even all the reactor is same, what change here is the operating condition. So this is something you have to remember, that operating conditions may not be same. Okay, but the reactor may not be same. Okay, the second thing is from plastic more liquid fuel compared to what we are getting here is around 19%. Okay, so it depends. The product composition may change. Okay, depending on what kind of feedstock you are using. For example, I say we have already seen when we are using the agro residue or forest residue, we can get around 57% to 58% combustible gases, 19% this, 23% char. But if I replace this agro residue with plastic, it might be possible that I'll have more liquid fuel here, less combustible gases, and almost no char. Almost no char. Okay, or negligible, I would say negligible char. But if I take leftover sludge, I'll have if I take leftover sludge, very high char. Okay, and then this, and very less liquid fuel. So what I mean to say is, depending on what I mean, the first thing is that beautiful thing is go. Okay. The one thing is that we wanted that instead of making to connect each and every kind of waste. I think you put one plant for your plastic, one plant for residue, one plant leftover plant, one plant for waste. It is just to put that kind of, if we put, there would be only one unit. idea was that this kind of unit on outskirts, like even Shivpuri, right? I was in Gwalior, so I have been to Shivpuri. Okay, so if I put 4 plants in the colony, one is the CAD, this Chaudhary Ka Dhaba or whatever, I forgot the name. One plant in Mena Road, one plant in this Sumali Road, one plant in this Agra Road. Okay. Then people will get what kind of their waste can go. They are very flexible. Put one plant at Dhaba, then I think waste from Shivpuri has to come here. Okay. But if you notice, do you that plants and all the force
ये तो सर ईद का दिन है सर। तो ईद किस है? बकरा ईद और किस अच्छा इसमें कौन है ये कौन है तो मैं तो आया था अच्छा तो मेरी डेट डिलीवरी में बता रहा हूँ तो हाँ हाँ अभी डेट नहीं लिख रही है ठीक है फिर कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं इसमें कुछ नहीं है इसमें सब है ये देखो कोई प्रॉब्लम वो इसको मतलब सब कुछ हो गया इसको मिला इसको पकड़ लो अच्छा तो आप 26,000 रुपये में होगा बात पेंसिल पर चेक करिए पेंसिल ये लगा दो जगह अच्छा आप दो जगह आप तो चेक कर लेंगे अब साथ में कोई जान तो हमारा तो बात है सब जो चीज का चेक कर लेते हैं हाँ सर ये तो उसी के लगाया जा रहा है ये ठीक है फोटो मिलता है फोटो पूरी पोस्ट किया हुआ नहीं तो मैंने तो ये मेरा इसका पिक्चर है मुझे इसका था ये फोटो किसी के क्या नाम है चेक कर दो मुझे देने के बाद फिर चेक करने को इसलिए सब भी दिख रहा है तो बहुत नीचे मार्क कर गोल खींच रहा हूँ लेकिन ध्यान रखना ठीक है क्या करें इसका फिर होगा
हेलो, हाँ सर, ओके ओके, थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू। बेसिकली सर नेट प्रॉब्लम हो रहा है हमारे यहाँ, सेलेक्ट कर रहा है। ठीक है सर, ओके, थैंक यू। वेल कम टू लेटर सर। कहाँ जा रही है? सर प्रॉब्लम देखता था ना, चलो। अच्छा, ये तो आ गया ना, देखो इसमें आ गया ना।
Dr. Dan, so because even I don't know everyone's email addresses, and that would not be good also to share.
No,
So
please
what
share
I will
it
do
to
is that,
the coordinators only.
Yeah.
Not directly.
yeah,
But
that I will do
please share,
definitely.
do share.
And
thanks
in
to
case
the
if you have any
coordinators.
questions or if you want to connect with me later on, you are more than welcome to connect.
Yeah, you can
Um,
also put in the chat box if it is convenient for you to put your email ID as well as the mobile number. That will be
Yeah.
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू डॉक्टर साहब। इसको सेव कर दें।